seems like people are paying a lot more attention to their urban core now than they were before. And that's not a Tampa thing. That's a national movement that's happening.
That's a national movement. I'm a Gen Xer, but I'm at the very tail end of Gen X. And so for me, I never wanted to live in the suburbs or in a gated community. So I was like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
So it was very unique, like coming here, and all my friends live in Atlanta and like from college, and I'm looking at where they live in gated communities. I'm like, no way. Right. But I think that trend has gone way past me to where, the younger generations, they're talking about like, well, I don't even want to own a home.
Yeah.
I want to rent, and I don't want to deal with any of that. And so I think there's
a car
or a car even. So it moves in those trends and those cycles depending on kind of who you're going. But yeah, I think I was kind of one of those last people who said, absolutely not, I'm not going to a subdivision.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I don't want to be in a car every time I need to go get eggs or milk or anything like that. I think walkability is important. And I also think, in maybe a strange way, it's related to the health of our country. I mean, we could talk for hours about this conversation, but
right.
It's like, when you go to Europe, they're all walking and they're eating this fresh farm to table food. Farm to table was a weird, in the last 10 years movement in this country.
Right.
Like, I don't know. I grew up on TV dinners. Like, no one cared about any of that. There's this real big push towards health and walkability and urban cores. And even you mentioned about how the development of Sparkman Wharf is so connected to Emily Arena, lightning watch parties. It seemed like 20 years ago or more, the developments were drive to, you're there, that's it. Now it seems like these projects they want to be interconnected with the surrounding neighborhood. They want to be interconnected with the other large developments.
Right.
They're looking at transit more versus like, hey, what we need to do is we need to build a building with a huge parking garage, feed people in, churn them out. It seems like people are putting pieces in place that add to versus destinations.
Yeah, I would totally agree. I think one is probably cost, right? And synergy is kind of what I would call it between developments. Like where if I had talked to a developer in 2006 or 7, it was very likely that they wanted to do that. They wanted to have their parking lot or parking field or structured parking, and they wanted to have their destination. Now you'll see, we'll say, or they'll see in the public record, somebody else submitted across the street from you. And we'll ask the question like, hey, does that bother you? No, like we actually think, this will work great for us. We'll have people from them and they'll have people from us, and there's a synergy there. And it's like, okay. So I think probably over experience of their lifetime and seeing things happen, they've changed that mindset. I mean, again, some are totally unique that they're going to do what they're going to do. But I think in general, we see that more, and it's unique that I've heard over the last 5-10 years that probably didn't hear very often beforehand.
And look what Sparkman Wharf does for that neighborhood and that development. Look what Armature Works will do for those future phases in Tampa Heights. It's going to be a complete anchor to that neighborhood.
Yeah.
I mean, you're creating a destination. You're creating a feel, right? Versus, hey, it's got some cool restaurants. No, it's this incredible old warehouse that was converted to like a market and a food hall. It's something to see. I feel like there's been more of those projects in the last 5 years than there have been in my lifetime, certainly. And I think the trend will continue as younger generations want more of this urban style living. I think it'll be more and more popular. And interestingly, I think our city has an unbelievable opportunity unique to us. It's hard to do this in a city that's been built out. Good luck in Seattle finding 100 developable acres in the urban core. Hey guys, if you want to watch the full episode of this clip, click right here. Make sure to subscribe by clicking right here. Thank you for watching.